Hi, my name's Jack Harris and I work in northern Iraq. This year we are celebrating our 7th year in Iraq. And I'd like to just go over some of the highlights of what we've accomplished in those 7 years with you. We've planted 6 churches in northern Iraq, and 2 of those churches have now grown to the place where they need their own building. I just talked to Pastor Laith Ibrahim, and he informed me that within just the next couple of months, he intends to plant 4 more churches throughout Kurdistan of Iraq, and one of those will be in the capital city of Erbil, a city over 2 million people. And this particular church is going to be an exciting thing because it's the first of its kind there. So we're very excited about what's happening in the church planting front, but let me share with you what we've accomplished on the humanitarian front. Over the last few years, we've rebuilt 2 Kurdish villages. Most of you will remember that over 4,000 Kurdish villages were destroyed during the Anfal period of Saddam Hussein's reign of terror over the Kurds. We've rebuilt 2 of those destroyed villages. There are 2 villages full of people today that have roofs over their head because we've provided them. Hundreds of people have been treated by our rural medical outreaches as we've taken our medical teams into the villages and treated the people right where they are. We've done many other humanitarian projects, everything from restoring a road and making it passable in wintertime for a small isolated village, to doing water projects, to helping widows with their children, and just a number of other things that have happened over that period of time. I'd like to share a verse of Scripture with you that arrested my attention when I first went to work in the Middle East. When I went to Iraq, I knew the part of northern Iraq where I was going was ancient Assyria. I lived 38 miles from the capital city of ancient Assyria, which was Nineveh, where the prophet Jonah once visited. As I read this passage of Scripture in Isaiah, I understood that this has not yet been fulfilled. And yet the stream of it is happening today. Whether this is the ultimate fulfillment or there's more to come, I don't know, but I know that we've entered into a stream of prophecy that is very similar to what we see in the Scripture. Let me share it with you. Isaiah chapter 19, verses 22 through 25. And the Lord shall smite Egypt, and he shall heal it, and they shall return even unto the Lord. And he shall be entreated of them, and shall heal them. In that day there shall be a highway out of Egypt to Assyria, and the Assyrian shall come into Egypt, and the Egyptian into Assyria, and the Egyptians shall serve with the Assyrians. In that day shall Israel be a third with Egypt and with Assyria, even a blessing in the midst of the land. Whom the Lord of hosts shall bless, saying, Blessed be Egypt, my people, Assyria, the work of my hands, and Israel, mine inheritance. In the prophecy I just mentioned, we understand that there's coming an alliance between northern Iraq, Egypt, and Israel. How or when this works out, I'm not certain, but I see the stream that's there, and we're going to follow it. Now, in this last year, we've seen what's called Arab Spring. And this Arab Spring has been in many nations in the Middle East and North Africa, many Islamic nations. There's been a revolt against the despotic regimes that have been ruling for years, and there's been a cry for democracy. I feel this is a great time for the gospel of Jesus Christ. I see whole nations that are beginning to open up and long for the freedoms that you and I commonly enjoy. Now we have an opportunity to go right on the heels of a revolution and bring the gospel of peace. We're going into Egypt. We already have personnel we're working with there. We have a strategy. We're going to mobilize the church that exists there. We're going to work from there to train more workers, to plant churches throughout Upper Egypt and many other places where the Lord's going to help us. And We have an open door from Egypt to go into the surrounding nations there. I feel all this is going to work together in the fulfillment of that Isaiah prophecy. We're simply doing our part and obeying the Lord at this particular time. I just want to encourage all of you as we take this new leap of faith. The work isn't behind us, it's yet before us. We've worked hard over the last 7 years. Now we have a chance to shake the Middle East if we'll take it. I want to thank you for all that you've done, for all that you've been faithful to this point. Now let's take it to the limit.